Hello there, Dan the Weatherman here. Hey, welcome to my weather show and welcome to 2022. Mother Nature's not slowing down. We've got some more active extreme weather over the last several weeks and there is a lot more to come. Let's get straight into it. First off, looking at the Pacific Ocean. Big swirl of quite an intense storm system there across the North Pacific. Have you seen some of the shots from just immense amounts of snow across parts of not only North America but Japan? Look at that, taller than people. We're talking several meters of snow. That was quite an intense storm system, that swirl we saw across the North Pacific, and for much of North America, record-setting snowfall there. That was down to a very, very juicy atmospheric river, warm seas, and the jet stream once again playing a big part in what has been going on. The wiggly river of air high up in the atmosphere. Nowadays, it's a lot more wiggly than what it used to be years ago, and you can see the ups and the downs. And one particular area helped cause what was the very intense upper low across Japan. Japan is tucked under here somewhere, right about there. The red bits are the upper energy, the oomph. That was the central upper level low, and this was just intense, dragging cold air from well north in the high Arctic down, meeting warm seas, and boom, off it went, a bit like a gas flame. Boom, up it goes. That was the intense low, but it goes back several days before. With the jet stream, what goes up must come down. So several days before, Philippines here, Western Pacific, Japan's right there, and I've put a couple of arrows on, so into Siberia, that bit going up, grabs air well north in the high Arctic. At the same time, you've got stuff coming down this way, so the up, the down, and then watch this thing into motion. You can see that push, that goes up, and that coming down with the colder air, another piece in the return flow, intensifies the upper low. And then you get the red, those are stronger winds in the jet stream, bing, off they go, move across the much warmer seas of the North Pacific. The North Pacific warm blob, that there with seas some 3 to 5 degrees warmer than normal, it is literally like that gas flame, boom, off it goes. Intense storm system. And that, now that it's tracking through, will actually have an effect, that storm system, on the weather downstream to parts of North America. That little bend there. I'll show you more in a second, but first off to North America, right about here. See that little bend, that V? Whenever you see a V in the upper level flow, that's severe weather. That's just intense oomph where that little orange is there. Southeastern parts of the US heads up for severe weather, maybe a tornado risk just in the next couple of days. We'll track that one through. As that moves into the warmer seas of the Atlantic, same thing. That's going to set us some pretty deep depressions. Bang! Into the western parts of Europe. Remember our guy? He was driving north, came down well up north, and nowadays we're getting more of this pincer effect. You don't really have the polar vortex just sitting strong. You're just getting bits almost like a wobbly plate of jelly, and temperatures, much colder than normal. 50-degree readings, if you can believe, this week for Australia. But look at this zone of purple. That is it, the cold air. That surge there from parts of Asia, the North Pacific, cold air will surge down. So if you squeeze it from both sides, notice how we get some green and some blue surging in and almost crossing, not anymore. It's like cross-polar flow and it's all getting mixed up, like Mother Nature has a bit of a swirl cake and saying, hey, here you are. But that surges the cold air down, so we'll have some significant cold surges to parts of North America, freezing temperatures, maybe to the far south, maybe to the Gulf Coast this week of the US, and look at that all getting mixed together. Some pretty intense weather to come. I mentioned that severe weather to the southeast of the US, right on that front there. Look at that cold air tucking behind, that snow on its top edge. So that system tracks through the next several days. Look at that, winds up as it hits the warmer sea. Off it goes. Quieter weather, another storm system there, that's another batch of snow for the Great Lakes. And then by the end of the week, this guy here, rain snow line is the blue line, that could be more significant snow for the northeast US and quite a wound up low there for the Canadian Maritimes by the end of the week. So things very busy, particularly to easterners. You can see that cold surging its way south. To Europe, of course, with the very warm Atlantic and just a lot of oomph in the atmosphere, we're getting lots of depressions coming in with a very westerly, wet, windy kind of yuck flow into the British Isles, western parts of Europe. One low there will dive down from Norway, could give some wintry weather for a time, North Sea coast, and then look at that barreling in. Ooh, strong to severe gales. This is the time of year to western parts of Europe. Complete opposite side of the scale. heading to Australia and New Zealand. Tropical cyclone, Seth, little guy there, he's going to get sheared apart in the first part of the week. One bit goes there, one bit goes there. Big high, temperatures were very, very warm to New Zealand and Australia this week. Watch what happens as this thing goes through. That guy shears, the high sits there in place, bits and pieces of rain. But as the new high forms here and a big upper level high and an offshore flow, that is going to be some significant temperatures with that mountain of warm air, that circle there over Western Australia. You take the flow from the interior, boom, squeeze it together, bit of compression, and look at that purple colour there. 50 degrees, possibly upper 40s, from the Northern Territory all the way to the northern and western parts of Western Australia, if you can believe it. So Mother Nature's really got things going. Some pretty active weather once again this week. That's the weather for now.